This is the Secure Family Podcast. Welcome, friend. I'm Andy Murphy. This show is all about empowering parents to protect themselves and their family. I believe that security is the foundation of happiness. I want your family to be safe and happy. If that sounds like something that resonates with you, subscribe to the show because there is always something new to talk about. The information that I share on this podcast is for general information purposes only. Today we're going to talk about an important topic, and that is knowing the signs of a predatory behavior, grooming. We'll go over these stages and how you can spot the red flags. All of that and more coming up on the Secure Family Podcast. I hate reading the news to find out about another senior who's been scammed out of their hard-earned savings. It happens all the time to people who have saved all their life to retire, and then suddenly they're out thousands of dollars instantly. With the amount of information available on data broker sites, scammers can misuse your parents' real data to scam them. It's easy for a scammer to sound like an IRS agent to your mom or dad if they know their name, address, work history, family member names, and even their property value. This is why Delete Me is so important for your family. They are consistently looking for your information on data broker sites. Delete Me will remove your data from hundreds of data broker sites so you can help protect your parents' savings and their data. Go to joindeleteme.com/dad and use promo code DAD to get 20% off your Delete Me plan. Delete Me is a sponsor of the Secure Family Podcast. Before we start the show, I want to discuss a story from Kentucky that happened earlier this month. A Kentucky middle school teacher has been arrested under the state's new anti-grooming law after allegedly crossing professional boundaries with a student. According to Fox News, authorities accuse the teacher of developing an inappropriate relationship with the child. The teacher now faces a charge of grooming a minor, although the allegations have not been proven in court. Kentucky's House Bill 4 took effect in July. The law allows authorities to intervene before alleged grooming escalates into physical sexual abuse. It covers patterns of manipulation, trust building, or influence intended to prepare a child for sexual conduct or to normalize this conduct. The law also applies when somebody in a position of authority or special trust allegedly develops an intimate or secretive relationship with a minor for that purpose. The case highlights an important warning for families. Secrecy, private communication, and repeated boundary violations involving a trusted adult should never be dismissed. The investigation remains ongoing. It will be interesting to see how this plays out and if more states are going to adopt measures to stop grooming before it turns into abuse. I really enjoy the work that I do at The Secure Dad. I like writing this podcast week after week and getting to meet all sorts of experts and hear their stories and see their opinions. In fact, soon, The Secure Dad is actually going to be turning 10, and I'm very excited about that. But there is a dark side to what I do, and that involves crimes that are committed against children. It took me a long time to even talk about this topic on this show. Since then, I've only seen the need to discuss it more because it seems there is a significant amount of ways that a predator can reach our kids today. So while I do not enjoy researching this topic at all, I've come to find that there are brave people out there who are fighting this day after day, and I don't know how they do it. So I'm very appreciative for those people and the insights that they've been able to share with me and other families. So now we as parents are going to have to be brave because we're going to have a frank discussion about how we can protect our kids by spotting the signs of grooming. Most resources will tell you that there are 6 stages that groomers use to control a child victim. While not every groomer will follow these exact steps, people smarter than me agree that this is the general path that humans follow. The first step in grooming is choosing a victim. We have at this point a person who feels that they must, for whatever reason, whatever terrible reason, make sexual contact with a child. We can't help that, and we certainly can't tell that by just looking at somebody. So now we have to look for behaviors that indicate that intent. And when we watch these behaviors, that's when we'll see what a person's really about. The groomer has to look for a child to feel attracted to, that they think they can manipulate, and then eventually control. Some general characteristics they may look for are less parental involvement, like a single parent, or parents who may be more free range with their supervision. They also look for kids who have low self-esteem, seems isolated already, and are insecure and needy. I think we can see that we as protector parents need to raise strong kids who can think and act for themselves. They'll be a hard target for a groomer and be able to stand up for themselves, and also feel confident to come to you and say when something just doesn't feel right. In the second stage, the victim is selected, and now it is time to gain trust. The best way groomers gain trust is to appear to be friendly and open. This does not mean that every nice person has evil intentions. It just means that groomers may not act like groomers immediately. The goal of gaining trust is to help parents and the child let their guard down. They'll ask questions and really try to get to know the child in order to help them build a profile that they can exploit. In this stage, you may see a person give small gifts, take a child on a small outing, play games, and then ask for secrets. For older kids, they may provide drugs or alcohol. And once the secrets are told and the gifts are given, things will ramp up. The groomer will begin to ask for small favors like attention and hugs. It may seem small at first, but it will get worse. It's also important to know that groomers may not work alone. Maybe their spouse or child who is under their influence will help bring another child into the fold. So couples can work against you too, not just single people, and that is very, very important to remember. In stage 3, the groomer starts to feel the unique needs of their target. They will try and create dependence for their victim by giving the child something that they can't get anywhere else, like maybe a cell phone, a place to stay, or even emotional support. If you notice a person giving your child this kind of attention, support, and gifts, you may want to report their behavior and discontinue contact with that person. With stage 4, we see the groomer begin to isolate the child from their parents and friends, and this is a critical stage in this process. Detaching them from their support network will help the groomer gain more control over the child in ways that young minds can't really understand. That's another important element to this. We see in these situations the adult mind outthinking the adolescent mind. These adults know how to play to children's insecurities and their thought patterns. This is really an unfair fight. And during this dependency, if anybody questions the level of their relationship, the groomer will say to the child that those people are jealous, or they're just being overprotective. They just don't understand us. Also in this stage, isolation is physical too. The groomer will try to get his target to an area where they can't be seen by anybody else to keep the witnesses down. These locations may include a child's bedroom, a camping trip, an unoccupied room at a church, or in a car. Stage 5 is where sexual conduct occurs. At this point, the hugs, tickles, kisses on the cheek, and the physical contact all increase to desensitize the child to their touch. This will seem acceptable to the child and is something that occurs regularly, even in front of other people. I'm not going to go over the types of sexual contact here, but to the victim, it won't seem odd or out of place. It may just seem like a natural progression of affection. At first, the child may not even realize that something bad has happened. So if a child expresses some sort of feelings about contact with an adult, you need to stop, listen, and when they're done talking, ask questions. The final stage is maintaining control. Victims will be led to believe that what's happening with the groomer isn't unusual. They will still be asked to keep the contact secret so that no one ends their very special relationship. If victims begin to question what's happening to them, then the groomer will resort to intense psychological tactics like blaming, shaming, instilling fear, and giving them false information just to retain that secrecy. They'll make the victim believe that no one will listen to their story and that no one will believe them. They'll also leverage any dependency the victim has, like a gift of a cell phone or a place to stay, in order to maintain that control. Exploitation can last for hours to days to years. And if you suspect anything, Talk with your child about your concern, and when you do, don't be confrontational. Come at it from a place of love and concern. Remember that groomers are going to try to isolate kids and make their relationship seem normal, so you're really going to have to be patient to work through all of that mental trauma that they have been through. A good way to broach this subject is by teaching good secret, bad secret. This is not my idea, but someone smarter than me came up with teaching kids the vital difference between a secret that is good and one that is bad. So here's an example of some secrets that can make you feel good. Sharing what you bought your spouse for their birthday is a good secret. A bad secret is one that makes you feel sad, confused, or scared. A bad secret is knowing that a friend has a knife in their book bag. And even if you have older kids, this still might be a way to help them open up some. It may seem corny to them, but it should get the ball rolling. Remember all these stories about individuals misusing Roblox to have inappropriate contact with children? Unfortunately, there's a lot of that, and it is still going on. Kids are online more and more, and predators are just out there waiting for them. Chris Hadnagy of the Innocent Lives Foundation told us that. Please make sure you know who your children are talking with in person and online, especially adults that have seemingly close relationships. Not every adult in your child's life will have evil intentions, so remember the red flag behaviors to act on. It can be hard sometimes to tell a person who just has a genuine interest in helping your child grow up and somebody who has dark intent. So it is really going to be these behaviors that really signal what the intent is. Well, that's everything that I have for the Secure Dad podcast for today. Thank you, friend, for listening. Take back your privacy and personal data with help from Delete Me. Get 20% off a privacy plan when using the code DAD at checkout. Delete Me is the official data removal service of the Secure Dad. If you enjoyed this episode or learned something new today, I'd be grateful if you would follow the show, subscribe on your favorite podcast platform, or leave a 5-star review. If you'd like to know more about The Secure Dad, join me on Instagram and TikTok. My username for both of those platforms is The Secure Dad, and of course my website is thesecuredad.com. I'm Andy Murphy, reminding you that our safety is our own responsibility.